Once they met with him, it was obvious to the filmmakers that Hero was Hardin Scott. Before or after, Hero was known for playing Tom Riddle, young Voldemort in the 6th Harry Potter movie. The English actor was hired alongside his uncle, Ralph Fiennes, who plays the adult Voldemort in the saga. Hero was 11 years old when he was cast in the role. 9 years later, at age 20, he was cast as Hardin Scott. In the meantime, Hero was living the life of any aspiring young actor.
I was doing a bunch of auditions. I was flipping burgers at a place called Miss P's Barbecue. And I'd left school. I dropped out of school the last year of school to try and just pursue acting, and I was doing loads of auditions, and I remember the first one I did, I had done like 3 that day, and it was getting to a point where I was just like, okay, hope I don't confuse the other auditions with this one, just go in, do my best. And I feel like I was so busy and I didn't overthink it. I was so run down by the end of it, and I feel like I almost did a better audition because I wasn't overthinking and trying too hard, and it's funny how that happens sometimes. And then, yeah, it was another audition, and then I was like, right, they want me, let's go for it, and another, and then I was flown out here to LA to chemistry read, and I was like, right, I don't think they're flying a lot of people out here to chemistry read. I didn't actually audition with Jo in the chemistry read, which is interesting. But I don't know exactly I think she might have auditioned for a different role at the time as well. And I got home, and my agent from LA happened to be in London at the time, so I had my English agent and American agent. We were at some cafe, and he was like, oh, you didn't get the role. I was like, what? The English agent turned over and was like, well, I knew he was trying to pull my leg. And then obviously he was like, no, you did get the role, and sent me on a roller coaster of emotions. And yeah, I mean, that was history. That was it. It was a surreal process. I remember waking up each morning. It did feel like a dream. And yeah, and it honestly took me like 4 years to finally go like, whew, this is it now, and this is how. But I'm grateful for all of it, every step of the way. And yeah, it's I'll never forget that whole process. It's almost nice to go through and tell you about it and revise in my head exactly how it all happened, because it really was like life-changing. So yeah.
Finding Tessa was far more challenging. Josephine Langford's name came up later in the casting process. In fact, the film nearly started shooting with a different Tessa.
Finding Tessa was more difficult. It was really crazy, because I would think that there would be so many young, blonde, beautiful actresses, because, I did want her to be cast the way that the character was described. Josephine actually read for a different role. She was in Australia, and she read for the role of Molly, and we read her over a video conference. From the moment that we saw her, I was like, that's our Tessa. So I called her agent and I said, she needs to get on a plane tomorrow and fly out here. And they were like, really? Really? And I said, yes, she does.
Josephine was also 20 years old when she was cast as Tessa. Prior to that, the Australian actress had started making a name for herself on Australian TV and in the American horror movie Wish Upon. But Tessa would be her first leading role. A role she knew came with considerable expectations. Long before arriving on set, Josephine was aware of her character's popularity among the book's fans.
I felt a responsibility to get it right, to get the character right, for her to be portrayed accurately and not as a two-dimensional good girl caricature. But you can't really let pressure or expectation get to you, because I think as an actor it's important to make your own choices and strong choices, and not choices just because you think it's going to appease someone or appease a group of people. So it was a responsibility, but yeah, I think you just can't let that get to you, knowing there's a lot of people anticipating what you're going to do.
Hero took a different approach to understand the essence of his character.
Hardin is very rarely like happy, and Hardin, when he's not with Tessa, and that's the beauty of the story, is that she brings out of him his best version of himself, and without her he finds it near enough impossible to do that. So it's about him being able to not just rely on her but bring enough to her as well, but also find a way to make it work, because for him that's life and death. That's the only thing that matters, and that's what, there's so much passion in the story.
Right from the start, that passion exploded onto the screen. From the first call of action, the chemistry between the two young actors was undeniable. Josephine Langford and Hero Fiennes Tiffin became Tessa and Hardin.
With Josephine and Hero, we clearly found that young couple where the sparks on screen are really dynamic, and they're both fine young actors, and they're both very professional. And that was an important part of it too, when you're working with young talent.
The big reason why the films are such a success is because they have such great chemistry, and because both of them really embody the characters that are on the page. It was really, really important to find the right people. And I'm so glad, because whatever the fans may say, I know that they're really happy with who we picked for Hardin and Tessa.
The fans that went and saw it just were so happy to see something that they've been following for years, and they're so happy with Hero and Josephine as casting. I personally think that Hero and Joe's chemistry carried the film, and it made it impossible, even if you've never read the books, it made it impossible to look away from the screen.
Where did their chemistry come from? Why did sparks fly so immediately? It remains a mystery, even for Hero and Josephine. But it's pretty clear they were made for these roles.
We actually didn't get the opportunity to have a chemistry read on the first film, so we sort of met, and it was like, this is it. So I think we were just really lucky that when we met and we started rehearsing, we had chemistry.
I feel like maybe it has something to do with, it was both of our first time doing lead roles, that we were almost in it together, and if we felt something that we disagreed with production or direction or anything, we almost had to rely on each other. We were the only kind of support that each other had, because we were fighting the exact same battle every time any conversations came up, so maybe something to do with that.
Chemistry in film is something you just either have or you don't, and so I think we were just really lucky that apparently we had it when we started filming. So there was nothing that we had to do specifically to like recreate it. It's just, I think it's either there or it's not.